That camera's on. This is take one because we always do take two. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What's up, guys? Welcome to Moonrunner City. I'm Chris. Let's get into it. Today we're going to do a little news break. We haven't done anything like this in a while, so we're just going to catch up on some silly celebrity news, a little bit of movie news, some Predator stuff came out, so we're going to check that out. So let's get into it. How about it? First off, let me get into Rob McElhenney. Rob McElhenney of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he also has a show with Ryan Reynolds called Welcome to Wrexham. So Rob McElhenney, and I'm going to say Rob McElhenney's name over and over again, and there's a point to this, because Rob McElhenney wants to change his name. So Rob McElhenney of, like I said, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is a comedic actor, if you guys don't know, and he's also part owner, along with Ryan Reynolds, of some football clubs, soccer clubs. One of them is a show out. They made a show about over in, I think it's Wales. I could be wrong. Wrexham Club. So he also has some more clubs in South America, I think. And because of that, he's thinking of changing his name, not just through SAG or like his stage name. He's thinking of changing his name legally. And it's hard to tell if he's like trolling or if this is just a big joke. What is it? Like I said, he's a comedic actor. This is an actor who like gained a lot of weight just for laughs on the show. He gained a bunch of weight, got really, really fat, and then like took it all off and then got like really, really shredded. So this is a guy who like in his personal life is not, going for the joke and going to extremes in your personal life. He's not like below that. So it's easy to see that he might be trolling. If he is, somebody should tell him that it's not 2009 anymore. Trolling is stupid, especially when you're his age. He's like 50. Just, I don't know. If he's still trolling for like clout or views or some sort of marketing ploy, because I do think that the next season of Wrexham is coming out. So if he's doing it for those reasons, then okay, but get it together, Rob, because so what he's saying that he wants to change his name since Rob McElhenney is not very easily pronounceable in some South American countries. He wants to change it to Rob Mac. So he wants to change it to Rob McElhenney thinks that in South America they'll have an easier time of saying Rob Mac. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you have like any South American workers at work, ask them if they want a Big Mac and to repeat that. And you tell me if they say Big Mac correctly, because they won't. Yeah, it's stupid. And I think that's why I think he's trolling. But if he's not, again, Rob, get it together. So that's Rob. What else do we have here on the docket? Denis Villeneuve, director of Sicario and the Dune movies, the newer Dune movies. He is set to direct the new James Bond movie. New James Bond movie, there's no announcement yet of when it's coming out or story or anything. They've only announced that have Denis Villeneuve. I'm never going to get his name right. But Dennis over here with one N, French Canadian, is set to be directing the 26th James Bond movie. So that's a good news. He's a director with a lot of talent. He's a director with name. He could get people to come to see his movies just because it's a Denis Villeneuve movie. But I think what a lot of people are also worried about is that as a director, I don't see him really fitting in with the James Bond world, at least the world of James Bond that I want to see. The Daniel Craig world of James Bond is just kind of dull and boring and drab and just way too serious. And I want a James Bond movie like in the days of the Sean Connery, Roger Moore James Bond movie, where there's a little bit of fun. We could take the piss out of a little bit of things, and we could just have a good time. And the last couple James Bond movies, I mean, I get that they were going for a more grounded and grittier and real take on the Bond, and Daniel Craig is his characterization of Bond was that of like a very serious Bond, but I just don't think that's correct for that character. I think that's why towards the end, people could just feel that not only was Daniel Craig not into it, but I think everybody in general was just not into this Bond anymore. Just really serious take on Bond. Bond is meant to be a little bit of fun, be a little bit extravagant, be a little bit ridiculous. I want gadgets. I want Bond to say some ridiculous stuff. I want him to be a little not funny, but fun. He shouldn't be making jokes, but his lack of making jokes should be what's funny or humorous. And yeah, you didn't get any of that from Daniel Craig. And even when he tried to be fun and funny, it just kind of came off as like really lazy. So let's hope that, like, that's what I think people worry about with Dennis is that he's going to keep this in the same direction. He's directed Sicario. He's directed a lot of great movies. Sicario is great. Dune is good. Blade Runner 2049, I really don't like that much. Prisoners is great. So this guy's really good and he's got some range. He's done sci-fi. He's done like an action thriller, even though Sicario doesn't really have too many action set beats. So yeah, Sicario. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What's up, guys? So I'm back. We had a little malfunction with the camera. So yeah, Sicario, Denis Villeneuve. He's directing Bond. Do I want to see a Bond movie that's as serious as Sicario? No. Do I want to see a Bond that is like sci-fi, like a Dune, or like a Rival? No. So I really don't know what Denis Villeneuve can offer this Bond. So that scares me. But he's a great director, and he's a director that is going to get people's attention, and he could do something. I just think that he's in the same realm of like a Sam Mendes or Christopher Nolan or something like that, where you're just gonna get another grounded, realistic take on Bond. And I'm just like I said, I don't want to see a Sicario James Bond. I don't want to see a Blade Runner 2049 James Bond, where people are just walking and talking in hallways. I don't want to see that. I want to see James Bond hanging off of stuff, stunts galore, put it in IMAX, just do it up. It's James Bond. So that's James Bond. Get at it, Dennis. Do something. Get something different in there. You're a good director. You're versatile. Hopefully, he does something good there. And talking about James Bond, with announcing him as being the director, there's also every week we're going to hear about like a potential like the casting rumors for James Bond. And right now the latest one is Aaron Taylor Johnson of the movie Craven and Tom Holland, Spider-Man. There's man. And then also this guy, I think his name is Aaron Pierce. Aaron Pierce is going to be, let me make sure of that. I think that's his name. Let me just check that. James Bond casting update. Let's Let's go. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we found it. Aaron Pierce. He's going to be in Rebel Ridge. English actor from London. And he's pretty jacked up. He's got the look. So he's in talks too. So this is going to be going around for a long time where we're just going to hear rumors of just throw in actors, and they're going to, I guess, Amazon is just going to see what sticks. Because I don't think they have any idea who they want to play Bond. I think they're just kind of throwing out names, and they're really just going by the reactions from the audience or critics or whatnot. And so this week, like I said, it's going to be Tom Holland, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and this dude, Aaron Pierce, who, out of the three, I mean, Aaron, this guy looks the part. Haven't seen him in anything, so I have no idea of his personality or anything like that. Aaron Taylor Johnson, on the other hand, I think he's a good fit. He looks the part. He's at the right age. So is this guy. This guy, Aaron Pierce. He's 31 years old, 6'3". He's a big dude. June 7th. Had a birthday recently, too. 31 years old. So he could play. You could sign him up, and he'll do 5 James Bond movies, and he'll still be a young James Bond. But like I said, who knows? Next week we're going to get a couple more different James Bond. They'll throw in a woman. They'll throw, they don't have the balls to throw in any other races in there. They're always going to keep it either a black gentleman or they'll tease like a woman. But you won't see Pedro Pascal in there. You might just for a laugh, but yeah, I don't think so. And you know what? I'm glad because when I watch a James Bond movie, I'm not waiting for Pedro Pascal to pop up so that I can look up there and be like, oh, I finally see myself in James Bond because there's another Spanish guy up there. Like, that's not why James Bond is so universally liked. People look or find it interesting. Well, I find it interesting because James Bond is brave and he's calculated and he's confident and he's able to make decisions even when he's not really sure. He's assertive. These are all characteristics that we look up to or find interesting or want or find just relatable, right? We even if we're not as brave as a James Bond, we want to be that brave, and we like to think of ourselves as that brave. I don't look at James Bond and be like, I don't connect with him because we don't have the same hairstyle or the same skin color. I think that's bullshit. And I think that's bullshit to especially think that like a younger kid is thinking that when he's watching a James Bond movie or anything like that. So yeah, they're going to just keep throwing out names and throwing out people. And yeah, I'll be surprised if they really are as diverse with the casting as they say they want to be. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be. They probably will pull something off that will make somebody upset, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to play it safe, and they're going to play it. I think they're going to play it too safe where people are just going to be completely disinterested with the movie. And I think they should just calm down with like these little announcements because people are going to get sick of like, oh, it could be this guy, it could be that guy, it could be this guy. Because when they finally do announce who it is, people are always just going to go back to like, oh, well, it should have been this. It should have been this guy. It should have been Idris Elba. It should have, like, So that's the James Bond casting there. Aaron Pierce. I hope Rebel Ridge does good for him. Okay. So we got Rob McElhenney being dumb, trying to tell Spanish people He thinks that it's he's an idiot, man. I hope that's a troll because I just think that's really dumb. So F1 opens up, big opening, 55 domestic and I think 75 internationally. So at the end we have here what says about 155 155 million for its first weekend. So made some money. Made some money for Apple. Actually, it's Apple's biggest hit. And big hit for Brad Pitt. Good for him. One of the last movie stars. Megan 2.0 bombed. But yeah, like we kind of knew that. I mean, the trailer to that looked ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe that it has a sequel, but it came out with F1 and How to Train Your Dragon still up in there. So I think, oh, and Elio was also out. So wow, it didn't make good money at all. Let's see, Megan, 10 million, Elio, 10 million, How to Train Your Dragon, 19 million, and F1 the movie domestically 55 million, number one spot. 28 years later, wow, went down a lot and only made 9 million this week. Lilo and Stitch made 6 million, and Mission Impossible at 4.2 million. So that's your box office there. Okay, we're getting to the nitty gritty. Getting down towards the end here. Predator news. So there was a poster release, and there is some a movie still released. Now the poster is pretty bad. Poster is of our new Predator character, Deke, the one with the Whoopi Goldberg hair. He's on like a side of a cliff face in the poster, and has Ellie Fanning character who's a droid. She plays two parts. One of them I think is a droid, and the other one is not. Or she could be playing two droids. I'm not sure. But anyway, she's playing in this poster. It's the droid version of Ellie Fanning, and she's got legs missing, so it's just like torso and her head, and she's like on his back, C-3PO style, like in Empire Strikes Back when C-3PO is like on like Chewbacca's back, and he's like kind of like Chewbacca's wearing C-3PO as like a backpack. And so here we go. The Predator is wearing the girl droid as a backpack and climbing up a mountain and cliff face. And it's not that impressive. And it's a little funny looking. I feel like that scene where Chewbacca's carrying C-3PO. I mean, that is played almost as a joke. It's kind of played for like laughs as they're like running through and escaping from the Empire. There's all this action going on, and then Chewbacca's running, and C-3PO's hitting his head on doors and telling him to hurry up and look behind him, and all this funny stuff. And so, for this, serious action movie where you got the monster going to be the main character, and he's carrying around our second lead on his back. So I don't know how long he's going to be doing that for, but let's not hope it's for the whole movie, because I think that would just be pretty ridiculous to be for them to be linked at the hip like that. So that's the poster. And the next image that we have from Predator Badlands, which is coming out in November. So Predator Badlands. The image here is basically of two predators. One predator looks like we just have his shoulders and his head. He's just a profile of him. And then in the far background, there's a predator standing with a sword drawn. And the sword the edge is kind of glowing red. It kind of gives it like a almost like a lightsaber type of look. It actually looks like the swords from Rebel Moon, if you know what I'm talking about. So the edge is kind of glowing red. So the predator is kind of standing there with sword drawn, kind of looking like he's ready to chop heads off. And from what we see here, you can't really see the predator in the foreground, the predator closest to us that looks like he's on his knees, looking like he's ready to get his head chopped off. It's described here in the article that is Deke. That is our main character, and in the background, the one holding the sword is like the father figure. So, your father looks like he's about to whoop that ass. So in the article, let's see, let's just read it here. It says, yes, meet Deke. That's his name, Deke. So yes, meet Deke, a Yautja. Yautja is the race, the name of the race of the predators. Yautja, who by the brutal standards of his tough-as-nails race is seen as the runt of the litter, Trachtenberg says. Cue a mission to prove himself. The filmmaker puts Deke, played by Demetrius Schuster Kolomatingay, in the lineage of stoic outcast heroes. He puts him in the lineage of stoic outcast heroes like Conan the Barbarian and Mad Max. He's a thing of few words, pretty blunt, Trachtenberg teases. He cuts straight to the point, literally and figuratively. Since that's Deke's father, wielding that weapon in our exclusive image above, you can guess how our protagonist has ended up that way. Mm-hmm. So, they're both unmasked, and the Deke predator has that stupid hair, and he has ears. I don't know why they give him ears. So he has ears. I don't know why they keep trying to make them. I know they want them to be like the protagonist and be relatable, and we're gonna have to follow them for the whole movie. So they're trying to like anthropomorphize them so that they look more human, so that we relate to them like a cartoon character. But a predator with ears, it just doesn't look right. Like none of this looks right. None of this looks threatening. None of it looks cool. It looks really dodgy. It looks just goofy as fuck. You got his father in the background. He also has like kind of like the slick back Whoopi Goldberg hair, but it's not in a ponytail, so it's a little less offensive. Right, so that's the box office. That's the news. That's Rob Mack, and that's it. So come back next time. We're gonna do some trailers. Hail Mary trailer drops tomorrow, or actually drops today. So I'll be watching that, and I'll put the video out tomorrow. And then tomorrow we will have a trailer of The Running Man. Edgar Wright's The Running Man is coming out in the winter, and we're gonna be getting a trailer for that. So that should be coming on the channel pretty soon for you guys. So stay tuned. Come back. I'll see you then. Be good. Hit like, hit subscribe. Be good. Bye, guys.